tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. I know you love dreams, Jables. It's one of your pastimes, your hobbies. You love when people come up to you at parties or work functions and just talk to you about the dreams they had last night.
Yep. Or show me shells that they got from the beach. It's just never quite the same, right? When you're finding it on the beach, it's just so shiny and great, right?
Yeah.
By the time you bring it to me,
it's an ashtray.
Child or otherwise, it looks just like a dry rock. And nobody cares about the shells that you pick up as much as you. Now go ahead.
I had a dream last night that I was running from the cops underneath the blades again and just trying to get out of the circumstance I was in.
Now the blades, under the blades thing. Do we explain or...
I think we should.
It didn't. Again, that wasn't your time. So you heard a phrase on Murder Mountain that you great Netflix series, by the way.
Suggested by our listeners. Everybody's like, dude, you got to watch Murder Mountain.
Job, guys.
We're in, and I totally dig it. But we had a conversation after this because during the first episode, this guy just so nonchalant, was like, man...
Yeah, I've been under the blades a couple times. And they just showed the police helicopter.
And him running from the cops.
Mm-hmm. And
I was like, man, I'm taking this.
You fell in love with it.
Yeah, because we all do it. We all find phrases that we like in different walks of life. And you're like, oh, man, I think I should add that phrase to my repertoire.
Not me. I'm a phrase maker.
Look, I am as well. Get the fuck off my lawn with that. But... that one got me, stung me, you know?
Right.
There I was. Yeah, I've been under the blades a few times.
And ever since, so you go, I'm going to steal that. And I was just like, what time would you be able to say you were under the blades? And so ever since, you've been trying to just nonchalantly put it in. I'm like taking the kids to some party at a skate rink. And I don't somehow thought that was the time.
Yeah.
And I again had to caution you. Don't force it. Don't force it, because I do, and I think there is going to be a time, which I've said to you, when it's just going to click. We're going to be in LA. Something's going to happen. We're going to be involved in some kind of thing, and there's going to come the helicopter, and you
will be able to slide that in a conversation.
You will be so
naturally
happy, whether you're the one in the accident, you're hurt, you're going to look up, James, I'm under the blades. Yeah. Boom, last words. Yeah. And it's really going to make so much more of an impact instead of you keep trying to put it into a normal day.
Let me ask you this. Would you be upset if that was my last words to you? Or would you find it hilarious for years to come?
I think at this point... that's how it would have to be with you and I. Like, you would have to have some kind of, how you would always get on the plane and be like, bury me in the Gucci store, right?
Yeah, I said, look, if something happens to me, bury me inside the Gucci store.
And I would always try and make you say something else so that wasn't your last words, and you never would. You just would leave it like that and turn off the phone.
Because it was 2 Chainz. If I die, bury me inside the Gucci store.
Sure.
And so I would text you and you'd be like, hey, have a safe trip.
Every time you got
and I'd
on
be
a
like,
plane.
James, if I die, bury me inside the Gucci store. And you're like,
boom, turn off your phone, you put it down. And so you can't have any other exchange with me.
So you're expecting
and I would have to be left with that. So now... what our relationship has evolved in and the kind of things I've let go of as far as having a certain kind of relationship with my husband.
As far as what?
Just kind of loving and the birthday post or Valentine's Day post that's real sincere. I've let that go. I'm never going to get that. You're the light of my life. You know, you take care of our family.
Raise me
You're the rock.
up.
Yeah, I'm never going to get that. And it's, you know, part of marriage is letting go of some of the things you wanted and hoped for in a relationship. And then you get to a point where it's just where we are. And so, again, I do not expect any nice, sincere messages from you ever.
If you want me to grow ban you on Instagram at STJamesSTJames, I will. I'll grow ban you on my Instagram.
No,
for
it's
your
okay.
birthday.
Our listeners actually put nicer things under your posts than you ever could. So they have kind of picked up the slack for you.
Here's the
as
thing.
a husband.
Let me break it down for the audience.
Sure.
All right? And this is any man-wife relationship. Friends are we're in the entertainment industry, so like I obviously view it as a joke. Everything is a joke to me because I don't want, like, I'm past the point. I've been years past the point of having a serious Instagram of like, oh
yeah, no.
These are a few of my favorite things, and it's my family.
It's the thing of like writing your mom an Instagram thing where it's like she's not on Instagram.
She's not on Instagram. She's
It's
not on Facebook.
just for everyone else to see your thoughtful
side of like, oh, he really cares about his
Again,
mom
I think
or
it's
his
stupid,
grandmother.
so it's fine. We
Yeah.
don't have to, but
I'll grow ban you, but it'll be in a special way.
a special way. But yeah, so the last words that I think you do need to say to me have to be, I mean, it'll change, I'm sure, but at
bury
this
my
point,
dick separately.
right, something like that.
You have make sure my dick is cremated, but I'm preserved in a mausoleum.
Clear my browser history.
Don't let my mom see my college laptop.
Throw the laptop away.
Try to figure out how to burn the cloud. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on some death phrases.
Yeah. Under the blades. I'm under the blades would be
baby.
At this point, if you died within the next couple of weeks, would be a good one. But it does need to, it will evolve, I'm sure.
You know, the sick part of me, the morbid part of me, when I thought I was going to die on that flight a few months ago. And I had made peace with it at that point, you know, was the fact that you're so high up, you don't get a chance to leave a message or do anything. And I watched that Paul Greengrass movie about the United Flight 93 or they had, remember when there was phones on the back of the seat?
Yes.
And playing and like they had all of these messages from people or conversations with their family about what they were able to say and do and all that stuff and have last words. I looked and I was like, there was a part of me was like, maybe I could make a call. And no, that feature is now gone from every plane. You cannot make a call from a plane.
It is, but don't you think if you made like a video or like a voice memo or something, that if they found...
Glad you brought that up. Somebody died. A mom died recently on... I forget, it was a flight or something like that.
On a flight? When did that
I believe,
crash?
I know.
I haven't heard about a plane crashing in a long time.
But Jessie, you don't read and or watch news.
Has a domestic flight fucking crashed in like...
Hang on. GoPro...
Years?
I'm gonna talk about nonsense here for about 2 seconds. So
you're looking for... Well, I'll just tease really quick. I'm going to do a crime corner later that's going to redeem me from the crime corner I did yesterday on the last show. And I'm really sorry about it. But I just put out, if I get a story enough times, I gotta just put it out because clearly that's what you guys want. So anyway, go ahead. What happened? What'd you find?
I found it. I'm sorry. It was not a plane crash.
Okay, good. That's what I'm saying.
But look, it's called the story that popped up. This was last year. Was the GoPro Lost at Sea, discovered by in Australia. She was using her brother's GoPro when it was lost at sea with photos and videos dating back to 2012. She thought she had lost it or whatever, and it was just like, oh, shit. All right, great. So I was thinking to myself, all right, this thing made it. I don't carry anything on me that I think would survive a flight, like a plane crash. whatsoever. I don't think if I made a video on my phone that I don't think it would survive the crash. Do you?
Yes, I don't know how that works.
I don't either. And because I was thinking about this too, if I left a text, I don't like if you can't send it,
right?
Would it still be there? And again, you're in a fucking plane crash. I don't think any of that shit survives, right? So
I guess that's good. That's a good reason to always have go in flight.
I don't know. That's the worst fucking thing of all time. Like it never works for me.
You can send an email
at
the very last minute.
It never works for me. Maybe, yeah. Because it does perform basic functions that go in flight.
You could send an email.
Christ. Video, good luck on that thing. Pay
it doesn't let you stream
$80 for that dumb shit, and you can barely, if you're using simple
it's not for
sites,
streaming, you know that.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know, but the problem is every site is now streaming.
Oh, okay.
So what do you like? Facebook, for example, is 90% videos now from people. Twitter, yes, you can use Twitter. But you can't, if people are posting GIFs or memes or you can't find any of that shit. It's good. It's good for about ESPN and, maybe Drudge Report. Drudge Report is still so basic that it's just.
Yeah. That it's still just
like miraculous Drudge Report that it's been like that since its inception and it has never changed. And it's the highest. I think it's the third high, besides porn. It's the third highest watched news site on the planet, and it is just basic black and white prints.
Yeah, but it's for some reason
pictures.
You take that, you believe that more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it's very basic like that and almost like newspaper like, you're like, okay, I trust that.
Yeah.
I don't know. More than like a flashy Russian site. No, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I think that might be a good business though for somebody to get into of death videos or something where it's just like, hey, you go and record it secretly and then they pop up later, like in the will, where you're just like, oh hey,
yeah,
give these videos to my wife and kids or whatever, and you just go for a day, and do it. I guess you could record it on your own and then give the tapes to your lawyer or whatever, but
yeah, but if you got it professional.
Yeah, if it was nicely lit and everything when you were like, oh, all right, cool.
Slow motion, good music.
Yep. Me running.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe you doing a lot of slow motion.
Baywatch.
Yeah.
I recreate Baywatch.
Yeah. Again,
for you and
your
my
fucking
children.
Death video won't be sincere. It'll just be a lot of you doing karate and
you need to see my karate moves for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know he did karate.
He was a really...
And you're super masterful. You somehow figure you've learned this form
of
karate
Krav Maga,
form, really...
Israeli hand-to-hand combat. I'm just doing these beautiful strike punches. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then it keeps getting darker and darker after that. I've also killed this man in Dearborn, Michigan.
Right.
And then it just shows me violently. Ah, and it's scored to that Lady Gaga song from A Star Is Born.
Which one?
Oh, yeah. And I'm just stabbing some guy in Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah. I'm just rising up, stabbing this guy in Dearborn, Michigan with an ice pick. And that's like, whoa, man, Ross really lived a full life, didn't he?
Right.
He was amazing at Krav Maga and murder, and I had no idea.
I had no idea.
I had no idea it was such a good murderer.
That would be a great death video.
Yeah, it would. It would. But I don't think anybody cares anymore, I don't think people care enough to do shit like that. It's weird. After I talked to that guy, Patrick Gordon, who was the Brosman winner of the year.
Right.
Who's dying of cancer. He's got, a few weeks left to live.
Right.
When I talked to him, for, what was it, like an hour and a half that show was or whatever, he was like, man, all of this is just stuff and, memories are kind of what you have and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think me personally, between books, movies, podcasts, everything, I think I've left enough behind at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I'm like, all right, cool. If there was any, because we have 2 young children, if there was any mystery about who I was, you can literally go back through. I mean, between this show now and Drinking Bros, I've done close to 700 episodes now at this point.
Yeah. When your
Forget all the
child
other
asks
interviews.
if you are gone, who you really were, I would just show him like episode 100 of the Drinking Bros. and he'll just be like, is there video? I'm like, they weren't doing video at that time.
At that time, thankfully.
But there really is people having sex in front of them. And that's where your dad was. In some cabin? Where were you?
Airbnb in Denver. That's the weird thing about Airbnbs too, by the way, is you really don't know what's going on in there.
Well, there was a whole story about people using them for porn shit.
Yeah.
So I think they have
that's real, by the way.
Yeah, and they have like disclosures.
Disclaimers.
Disclaimers.
There we go.
Now on no, but like if you're renting the Airbnb, it's like no events, no filming, no blah blah. So it's like,
but it's all
not that you
can't stop it. No,
yeah,
you can't stop it. You don't care. I just think that it's hilarious that there is a nice house in Denver that has had strangers fucking on it, and then 4 people circled around the bed announcing it, and this guy has no idea. And I met him too. You meet your host.
I hate meeting the host.
So do I. I'd rather it just be
to just give me the code.
Yeah, exactly. I met the host, and like the funny thing about Denver is because they passed, they legalized marijuana. At the time we did that show, it was new. So they were doing these marijuana tours and all this shit through Denver. Where it was like,
so they thought you were just there for the weed.
Oh yeah, and so when the guy brought me in, and he literally showing me every last square inch of this place, and I'm like, bro, I just wanted to scream out, bro, I don't care. People are about to fuck in here, like, hey, I don't.
But you couldn't.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I had to go through the whole entire house and be like, oh yeah, this is wonderful, fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be great to smoke weed in. Yeah, we're going to smoke weed here and on the bed.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing is, so he had a bong ready for me, a full size glass bong, a pipe, for traveling if I wanted to smoke on the porch. So he brought me up to this like porch off the bedroom, and he's like, he goes, now out here, this is great. Like if you just want to smoke at night. Just kind of look up at the stars and the moon. Like, this is a great porch for smoking on. You seem like a
super chill dude.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God,
You're
dude.
like, what about me makes you think I'm going to sit on the porch and just...
Hooch up
and unwind?
And that's the other thing. It's like, man, I at that point, I've been living in L.A. for fucking 15 years or whatever. I'm just like, brother... We've had weed in LA for 10 years at this point. Like,
even when it wasn't legal, it sort of seemed like it was legal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then it led me to believe, I was like, man, maybe people are just flying into Colorado for their marijuana tours.
Yeah, dude.
I was just like, oh,
remember they did that New Year's thing on NBC or something? And like all the correspondents were like getting high and at these weed parties.
We're going to look back at those videos with just... as Americans, with just extreme embarrassment and like it's
embarrassing already.
When you're like, oh, look at this. This is Susie. Susie's a teacher, but right now she's smoking marijuana because it's legal here. And it was like, how do you feel, Susie? And Susie's like, oh, I feel a little
loose.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit loose.
Come on. Don't you show me that's going to be the embarrassing part of all of this in like 10 years, looking back at those videos.
It's already just been weird to me. Cause again, in LA, it just seemed legal. My parents were smoking it when I was young. You know what I mean? It just seemed kind of normal. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't until I moved to other places where I go, oh yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Like severely illegal, whoopsie, right?
Ding dong. Yeah.
Because even in California, it's like, oh, okay, you got a joint. Like, just go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas here, it'd be like jail time.
Yeah.
Any amount.
I was walking down the street in North Carolina. I was walking in the downtown area, and a buddy of mine was smoking weed the other night. And,
just vaping, right?
Yeah. Just crushing a vape, and, it still smells like weed. So, like, There was a few people who turned around and were like, whoa, that's marijuana smell. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
It's not a big deal.
No. And to that point, I mean, look, what state was it today?
That passed it?
No, they're, was it was it Denver or yes, it is Denver actually. Magic mushrooms is what they're calling it. The legislation. They got enough signatures today to they want to sell it. They want to sell it at stores with the weed stores.
But are they saying, because they're saying it has to have some medicinal, right? So micro dosing apparently.
Yeah, and you've got to be 21,
right?
Not 18 and up. So the first step to try to get this bill passed is enough signatures by people and all that shit, and then you have to get them verified. They reached it today, so now if that goes, that's going to be a whole nother box of weird.
I mean, but that's not something that you can walk down the street doing and kind of casually go about your day. I actually don't think mushrooms should and need to be. Why do they need to be legal?
I don't know. I mean, just for fun, I guess.
For fun? To be legal for fun?
It's just for shits and gigs at this point.
I just feel like if you want mushrooms for a certain thing, trip, music festival, you can get them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh?
You're not going to need them right then.
Speaking of music festival, if you were going to take them, man, did we talk about the Coachella lineup and how ridiculous it was? Ariana Grande is the headliner.
Yeah, this Coachella lineup for me was the first year that I go, no thanks.
Yeah.
I have no interest whatsoever in going.
The headliner is Ariana Grande on Sunday night for Coachella. Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover, is the second night. Don't really give a shit. I don't think he's big enough for Coachella. And that he's the first night. And then the second night is Tame Impala. What?
Who?
Yeah. That's your three headliners for that. I don't even know who your audience is. I was talking to one of my best friends who's high in the music industry. Shit, he's been on the show numerous times. Brandon Bonfiglio.
Yeah.
Big wig, music industry guy. And him and I used to go to all the Coachella, back in the day.
Oh, they're going to go for sure because of Ariana.
Well, that's what I said. But he, I said, you're going for sure because of Ariana Grande. He's like, probably because they do all, Hannah did Thank You Next. She did that video and she does all of Ariana Grande's videos, I think. But, and Brandon produces them. And I said, but is there anybody else you're excited about? I know he's a big 1975 fan and they're on the bill, but he was like, no. You look at that lineup and it's so middle school that you're like, who's your audience? Because to me, Coachella's audience has always been more of the rich, little bit older, 20s, 30s of we have enough money to buy expensive ecstasy.
Right.
Pure MDMA. That to me is what that crowd has been. That lineup does not reflect that crowd whatsoever. Childish Gambino and Ariana Grande.
I always thought it'd be funny to go to Coachella because that's the place where everyone just tries to look as cool and as hip and as, I don't know, Coachella chic as they can.
Right.
I thought it'd be funny to go as a full-on mom style. Mm-hmm. Mom jeans and a floral print tucked in, maybe a gray wig, and just be like, hello, millennials. Because at this point, that's where I would have to go I'd have to go that far.
Yeah.
Because trying to fit in at this point now, at let's say this Coachella, would just be sad. Do you know what I mean? So you have to go far.
I don't know anybody.
I'm a mom.
I don't know anybody over 30 who could get away with going to this. Because what are you going to rush the stage for Ariana Grande? You're not taking drugs at Ariana Grande or Childish Gambino.
Fun, dude.
It is a blast. But that's
fun. But at this point,
and not only that, but liquor sales are a massive part of that. And you remember in LA, people were fighting for those bartending gigs. To work Coachella because you made so much money. Yeah. Because there's so much money. Everybody's buying liquor all day long because you're there for fucking endless hours. And I don't know who's
there's adult tents for you chill in there at the Absolute tent with like the older people.
I don't like the VIP shit is always the VIP shit.
It's always the VIP shit, but it just feels, I don't know. I feel the disconnect now.
Either way, I think it's just this lineup, and I don't know whether they did it intentionally of, hey, we've got to bring, or we've got to bring in a younger audience to Coachella to go for the years to come, because nobody's drinking alcohol, hard alcohol.
Yeah.
Waiting for Ariana Grande. Nobody's taking drugs waiting for Ariana Grande or Childish Gambino or
Idris Elba.
Yeah. Oh man, how weird is that? And I told this story. And
I know, but you're the only one.
I'm the only one who told this story when I met him, and he was DJing, and I was like, we're a private gig, and I was just like, hey man, what the fuck? And he goes, I would rather DJ more than act
than
to be an actor. I told the story in the show. I got a bunch of messages about it, and they're like, that can't be true. And then he's playing at Coachella. But here's the other thing. That's another perfect example of, look, I love him as a person. He's an awesome dude.
Right.
In real life. And he's a even better actor. I mean, Jesus Christ. The guy across the board is just winning at life. He's just a great human being.
He even got away with being creepy to Taylor Swift.
I guess they've been friends for years or something. And his wife was there. He's been married, like, whatever.
Again, it wasn't.
Me neither. Yeah.
But it was just, I'm programmed now, I guess, to be like, someone's going to have something to say about that. All he said was, you look good.
Yeah. You shouldn't be.
You can't tell women they look good anymore, I guess.
But he playing at Coachella underneath the Sahara tent with all the rest of the DJs, that's your Tripper's Delight tent where people are doing hard drugs all day. Do you know how much it would kill my fucking buzz if I am just tripping balls and then Idris Elba comes out from The Wire and just what?
It would kill your buzz?
Yes.
If I was tripping hard enough, I'd be like, yeah.
It'd be weird. A friend of mine was at one of those big, like, I think it was EDC, like the Electric Daisy Carnival fucking thing in Vegas or Ultra in Miami, one of the two. And Paris Hilton came out and played a DJ set for like an hour and a half. And he was just like, bro, I was on Molly, and that just completely fucked up my night. And I was like,
you're just
I
like,
bet,
what?
right?
What's
you're
happening?
seeing Paris Hilton just out there like this
yeah.
with their fucking dog, and you're like, yeah. Strange. But then the Bonnaroo lineup dropped, and it was just
so
like,
now
whoa.
I like want to go to this, but I want to go June 15th.
So I'm going to read this off because this just dropped right now.
The first night is it's like nothing.
Thing. Fish is your headliner on Friday night.
On Friday. So Thursday is Matt's the opener. Fish.
No. Fish.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah. And like, look, once you're on the festival circuit, you're on the festival circuit. You pay to...
The other...
Solange. She's also on Coachella's lineup. The Abbott brothers.
I didn't know you could do both.
Yeah, you can now.
Because they're far enough apart?
Yeah.
Mile-wise? Don't you have to be a certain amount?
I think there used to be like these big festivals of Bonnaroo, Coachella, and Lollapalooza.
Like no compete fucking thing.
Now it doesn't really fucking matter.
So June 15th, though, I would go...
Post Malone,
Hosier.
Yeah, there you go. The National.
The Lonely Island, I would actually see.
It'd be pretty funny. Look, Bonnaroo's always had some comedians and shit. So
okay.
Juice WRLD's playing.
Gucci Mane.
There's a bunch of people there. That's really funny. And then, boom, you come back for the final night with Fish again. And then
2 sets. No, thank you.
The Lumineers.
No, thank you.
Cardi B. I like how they've just embraced the weirdness of like, we don't give a fuck and we're just going to have these things. If you probably haven't been to a Fish show. I've been to a Fish show. For a Bonnaroo crowd.
I have no interest.
I understand. But for a Bonnaroo crowd like that, that is a great choice for the Bonnaroo crowd.
Okay.
Where you have 100,000 people, everybody's camping out, and...
Is there any VIP here?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
There is. But...
I would totally rough it.
And they don't have like, hey, stop your set after an hour type shit. Like, if you're playing last, you're going to do what you want.
Oh, okay.
So Fish playing is just a gigantic party. Whether or not you like the band or not, if you've ever been to a show, it is a fucking party where you're on drugs. I would not recommend seeing Fish without being on drugs at any shape or form. But if you are, It's a fucking blast, and it's one of those bands that is great with a large group of people that you don't have to know, where you're just like, that's cool. This is strangers just raging. Everybody's sharing drugs, fucking liquor, whatever you have, and you're like, all right, great. That is a perfect festival band for me. Mm-hmm. I would like to see more of that at like a Coachella, where you're just like, all right, let's have the last band be a fucking jam band. Like, throw on Widespread just once and see what happens. Just see how long they play. You know, I think there's noise ordinances there though in Palm Springs where you have to end at a certain hour. Yeah, because they always shut down.
It's like done, and everyone's
lights out. Yeah, because we've been there when they just pull the mics.
Oh yeah,
where it's
lights have gone down on, I forget who it was.
Famous people.
Yeah, where you're just like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they're done.
Okay,
that is
done.
They're all done.
They're done.
Because I think they get fined by the city. Whereas Bonnaroo,
I don't love a jam band though.
Bonnaroo though, I don't think there is any fines. So they're just like, fuck it, we do what we want. And
are the people dirtier there?
Yeah, it's Bonnaroo.
No, I'm just like, I could go in June.
It's hot.
I'd be ready to go.
Real hot in Tennessee. I can tell you that.
Are we doing something else? We're seeing Rolling Stones maybe, right?
We are.
In June.
I think it's I believe it's June or July in Chicago.
Right.
A bunch of us are getting together, going to the Stones show at Soldier Field.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think you're ready for this type of...
What are you talking about?
To hop back into this world.
What do you mean I'm not ready?
James, it is an all-day drinking drug extravaganza.
I've never liked drinking all day, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you'd be able to hop right into this.
I could take a pill.
Yeah, and just ease into it. And that heat, though, it's a lot.
It's true. That's true. And I think the smell would get to me.
Yeah, it would.
And then I'd have to fly there, so I'd already be sick. I'd already be puking. Yeah, I guess more that you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're past the 3-day festival stage in your life. Like, hey.
Oh, and you aren't?
No. I could go tomorrow to, a good lineup.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I have kids. You don't.
Not true, James.
Very true, friend. Where are you going? You're leaving today.
I can FaceTime him from the Sahara tent at Coachella. Hey.
God.
Yes, I'm leaving tonight. I'm going to San Antonio, but that's for work. Mm-hmm. So we have a bunch of Drinking Bros shows there, shooting a bunch of content for blackriflecoffee.com, who is our chief sponsor. Beautiful segue. And I will be at the Black Rifle Coffee headquarters for the next 3 days. And they're having it's a retreat for everybody.
Oh, I want to tell you, when you do the trust falls, because you guys will do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Backwards. Okay.
You can't do it forwards.
Yeah, they're going to have you close your eyes, and they're going to ask you, all your fellow employees, Matt, Evan, all of them are going to be behind you.
Sure.
And they're going to have to catch your large body.
Yeah, because
tall. I mean tall.
So of course, I'm a giant man.
So yeah, fall backwards.
Because look, Black Rifle is the chief sponsor of Drinking Bros and Ross Patterson Revolution. So every year we have a big meeting, and look, those guys do it right over there across the board. I know I always talk about how great their coffee is and their K-Cups and their bags and all that stuff, but
you're gonna get like gourmet coffee every morning, man.
Yes, and it is legit, man. When you go into Black Rifle Coffee, God, what the fuck is that guy's name? I'm blanking on his name, but there's
Edwin.
That's it. Edwin makes. I mean, he'll spend hours in the morning making you.
Someday I'm going to have a cup of his
amazing
coffee.
blend where you're just like, my God, man. So if you think this is just a bagged product that they're just kind of shipping out or whatever, it's not, man. I mean, those guys really live that life. And when you go there and have that coffee, it is different when you have somebody of a professional level like that making you coffee every morning where you're like, holy shit, I'm ready to butt fuck the day. Like, right. I am humming.
It's a thick, deep, rich.
Yeah. And it's
kick in the pants.
Those guys, like Evan and Edwin in particular at blackriflecoffee.com, are always trying out like blends from all over the world. So like again, this is not just like a slap a label on it and ship it out. Like they are genuinely trying out these beans from like Ethiopia and like, you know, Guatemala and Colombia. And I've been fortunate enough to have those, you know, because I've always shit on the coffee world.
Yeah.
I've always been one of those people who's like, just get it in me and let's get out the door.
Impatient.
Yes. Well, I've just never liked the taste of it. And then I got there. And then I got to go in one of those tastings with them. And Edwin was just like, all right, I'm going to make you this blend and this blend. And I was just like, God damn it, this is good. But to be on that level is a whole nother story. And look, they do it for their products. And then you get it and you're like, all right, cool. But I don't have an Edwin in my house making that shit every morning.
No, you don't.
Because it takes, I mean, look, he's spending a good 45 minutes on that every morning. And most people, if you have kids, you don't have time for that type of shit.
No, dude.
No. So I'm a K-Cup guy, jam it down, boom, let's move on about our day. But look, blackriflecoffee.com is the best that's doing it. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for a one-time use of 20% off at blackriflecoffee.com. Next up, ghostbed.com/drinking bros. They got the deals. Still doing it on those fucking deals, man.
Really?
Yes, $7.99. Off of a bundle package. I don't know at this point. And I'm afraid to email them of like, oh, hey, did you just leave this up? Or
is it real?
Well, I mean, it's real because I know people are buying it and they're like, hey, man, those deals are still good that you were promoting over Christmas. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't want to email them. So in case it was a mistake, because I know they make individual pages for our listeners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because look, we share a lot of the same listeners with the Drinking Bros crowd. And, I think they might have just left up the page. So it's like, cool. I'm not going to email you. So go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros. You can get all those Christmas deals still. The $7.99 off the bundle package is still there. The $500 off, the $300 off the mattress, all that shit is still there. Best mattress on the planet. And again, it's a pay-as-you-go program. You don't have to put any money down. 36 months, interest-free, and you can just pay it off. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. And again, go now if the deals are still up, because eventually they're going to change, I would imagine, right? Like, you can't just keep doing that forever. It's one of those things where maybe they just built a homepage and just left it.
Or maybe, yeah. Well,
that's how good the deal is, where you're just like, fuck it. Keep going. Keep using it. Ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Next up, we've got StrikeForceEnergy.com. Strikeforce Energy is the premier energy drink in the biz. Talking about a Ridge, lemon, orange, make America grape again. 750 milliliter bottles where it's at, though.
That is
Boy.
the answer to all your
Let's
problems.
go back to the room. 10-pack, 40-pack. And that's $7.50. Get it in you. Kick the can, kids. You don't need the can anymore. StrikeForceEnergy.com is giving you all you need in this life. Again, if you're on a diet, too, after the holidays, like pretty much everybody in America is, no carbs or sugars. So you're good to go on that. You're ready to rock. And if you hate just pounding water, just plain water, put a little of that in there, and that'll prevent you from crashing the afternoon on these diets. Especially, man, like the first couple days, you're ready to crash after these fucking diets, man. Brutal. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. They also have a subscription of the month club along with Black Rifle Coffee. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Last but not least, we've got StraightRazors.com.
Ooh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. Are you right? Did I catch you off guard a little bit?
A little bit, you did.
You thought I was going to go long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, James, it's enough of that. People already wrote in about your Beat It show.
What? Beat it. Beat it.
How you just
I still don't know
the words to Beat It.
Tell me.
No, James.
You don't know it either.
You go.
Beat it. Beat it.
You go to Apple Music
beat it.
because you're a family member of mine who has purchased
I refuse to click on Michael Jackson. So I guess I'll never know.
We'll get to that in a second. The Michael Jackson thing that we were talking about. StraightRazors.com's the finest shaving products in the biz for a dude. Their Smolder aftershave is the greatest thing on the planet, man. I know I say it every time. That and their cologne I use to death. Their straight razors are amazing. they get a safety razor as well if you don't want to use a straight razor. So it looks like your normal razor, but there's something better about the blade, and it just keeps you fresher. Probably about a day and a half more than just your average razor. Big fan of all the products. Mustache wax is on fleek today. And their beard oil is amazing, too. Everybody's using their beard oil.
It's the only way.
StraightRazors.com. Promo code REVOLUTION. 20% off. And, of course, my books, When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It, and Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed, are available everywhere across America. Amazon's the easiest way to get them. And then Audible. If you love hearing our lovely voices 3 days a week, these are 6.5 hours a piece of magic on Audible or iTunes or whatever, and it's a team full of actors. We got an Oscar winner in the last one, and it's the highest rated book on Audible. Crazy. But I want to dive into your Michael Jackson thing about supporting people, because we talked about this last episode, supporting people who've done bad shit, right? The latest, again, is this R. Kelly thing, which we were talking about.
Touched on.
But it keeps going. I didn't know this was like a 6 or 7 part series. It just keeps... You're just like, oh, this is on every night now.
I'm caught up,
we
for
are
sure.
living his life. John Legend was on. Talking about R. Kelly and, being a sexual predator and all that other bullshit. Well, last night on Twitter, after that, everybody was like, hey, man, you and Chrissy Teigen are fucking hypocrites. We've got pictures of you chumming it up with Harvey Weinstein, at multiple events over and over and over again for years. And it's like...
And it had to be recent because they haven't been together for that long.
No. And he put up this statement on Twitter last night and said, I don't know why you guys are sending me these things. We didn't find out about Harvey Weinstein until the rest of the world did. And he's a monster and should be fucking prosecuted the same way as R. Kelly, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you did know. Everybody in town knew.
If you found out at the same time as everyone else, then it's a long time.
Yeah.
Because we all knew.
Everyone knew. So, like, that bullshit, like, this hypocritical bullshit out of celebrities, it's just reached a max level where it's like, man, these are people who have been, oh, my God, we're against the border and you're tearing families apart and all this other shit and you shouldn't build a wall. They have a fucking 12-foot wall around their house. It was on TMZ. You have a gigantic wall around your house. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This thing, sexual predators and all this other shit. Great. But it's like, granted, you weren't friends with R. Kelly, but you were friends with Harvey Weinstein. So what's the difference there? Everybody knew what was going on in town. There's no fucking way any of these people were that dumb.
And that's why it's dangerous territory for a celebrity or someone that's been in the industry for a long time to cast any stones. Because at one point you've brushed with or you've made some, questionable deals to get where you're at or whatever. Like you just, as, if you're in that industry, you need to be careful. And that's why you always shouldn't weigh in on everything.
Yeah. You know who the master of that is DiCaprio. DiCaprio, look, Wolf of Wall Street and all that stuff got popped, right?
Right.
Do you know he actually testified in federal court last week?
No.
He was somehow able, guy's a fucking messiah. He's a genius. He was somehow able to get in to federal court in D.C. Wait, in and out, testify. No one even knew he was there until a week later. I don't even know how that's fucking possible of somebody of that fame, because that trial is still going on.
You want to know why? Because he keeps his fucking mouth shut.
It's crazy. The
more you fucking chime in, people are going to be watching to take you down.
Yeah. And he knows where this money was coming from and all this other shit, but he's never, barked up about it, never said anything about it. Like, we all know. Like, he
also, there's some questionable sexual stuff in his past, too.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I haven't heard, you never hear shit from DiCaprio.
You don't hear shit from him.
I don't know where he is in America right now.
Antarctica or something. I know he's doing
Who knows? The only thing you'll hear out of DiCaprio, and I peeped over it because I didn't even know he had an Instagram. He's got an Instagram and a Twitter, but it's all environmental. That's it. 100% environmental shit. Nothing out of him anywhere. Just about the environment of this is happening. That's it. It's 2 environmental social media sites, and that's it.
And that's why Bono hushed.
The guy's a master because some of the things that were at question in the federal court was a gift. One of the gifts that he received for doing Wolf of Wall Street was Marlon Brando's Oscar that he won from On the Waterfront.
Like, as an actor, you're like, oh my God.
One, you're like, oh my God. Two, you also know as an actor, selling Oscars and acquiring them is illegal. If you find them or you were able to get them, there is a law with Oscars that if it gets seized by some other entity other than the person it was supposed to go to or their family members or whatever, the Oscars has the right to buy it back for $1. So when this Oscar got seized from DiCaprio, DiCaprio's like, oh, I'll give it back because it was an illegal gift. It can't be an illegal gift. So you can gift it to whoever you want, but it cannot be illegal and it cannot be at auctions and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And after this meeting, the Academy went in, bought the award back for $1. So they have it now.
Right.
$1. But he knew where this money was coming from.
Sure.
Didn't say shit. Went and cooperated, gave everything back. Because one of them was like I think a Picasso portrait. And I mean, he'd give it all back.
You know when you're getting this stuff, though. It's like,
I think one of them was like a
thanks.
sculpture from like Salvador Dali or something
you're
crazy
thinking,
too. Yeah.
Where did this weird Asian man get this?
And look, I have never been at anywhere close to a DiCaprio level as an actor, but I've done a lot of films, independent films, and I've had to go seek financing from whoever. I can promise you on more than one occasion, the money that I received from people to finance these films was more than likely illegal.
Sure, they were trying to hide it or something for some kind of...
Yes, they were trying to hide it from overseas, or they just wanted to meet famous people. So, like, there was a couple movies that it was just like, all right, great. You know, a couple Saudi princes showed up to take a picture with an actress.
Right.
Just because they were a fan of X, they financed the movie off of that, and they came, showed up, were there for a day, went out, dropped 25, 30 grand at a club that night, and without blinking, showed up in Ferraris that were rented when they landed and left. And I was just like, hey, who are those guys? Oh, they financed your movie. Great. Don't care.
Don't want to know anymore. Yep. I don't want to know any more than that.
100%. But I knew. So, like, if there was ever a story that came out against me later of like, you know, oh, Ross did this or whatever, I'd be the first one to be like, yeah, I did. Yeah. And I knew exactly who those people were. You know what? I didn't ask a fucking question, and I didn't make a stink about it.
Right. I just made the movie.
Same with the DiCaprio thing with the Wolf of Wall Street. To me, Wolf of Wall Street might arguably be my favorite movie of all time, I think.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is so fucking good. I could watch it once a week, and I mean it's up there with Shawshank for me.
Okay.
And for a different reason. Shawshank was a fantastic drama and all of that shit, and I loved it. I love, like, Forrest Gump, but like I enjoyed the shit out of watching that film for whatever reason.
Right.
I just think it's hilarious and really well done across the board.
Fires you up, dude. Too.
Totally. And that speech, I'm not fucking leaving.
Gets you going.
Love it. I don't care not only as a fan, but happen to know some of those people who worked on the movie. A lot of people who worked on the movie. I don't care how it was financed. I don't give a shit how it was financed. I don't care where the money... All I care about was that the movie got made, because it wasn't getting made at a studio. That movie sat at a studio for 10, 12 years, I think it was. And Scorsese was like, look, man, I need X amount of dollars to make this happen. And so did DiCaprio. And they stood by it forever, because DiCaprio owned that. He bought the rights to the book. He loved the book and whatever, and was just like, look, I want to do this, and I will wait until there's enough financing to do this properly, because if you don't have the right amount of financing to do this properly, it's going to be a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. With the legal money and all that other shit that came in, and that's what obviously financed it. Like, I don't care. It was the greatest movie of all time. DiCaprio never said shit. He's never come out and spoke against, you know, other people or other things. Like, nothing whatsoever. So I don't give a shit whatsoever. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? He's never preached in anybody's faces like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Like, he's never preached about anything. He's
the environment, but even that, he's not pointing people out.
No.
He's really just trying to Hide money.
Raise awareness, and hide money in his in a
He's
charity.
Trying to Bono his way to
in a charity
to millions, and that's
exactly.
okay.
Yes.
Because good things do end up happening.
They do. So I don't care if some dirty money sneaks through. He's genuinely trying to do good shit. What I do care about is the hypocrisy of all this shit, where it's like, man, if you're going to tell everybody else to do this shit, at least do it yourself. Because you look like an asshole, like this Patricia Arquette speech, the other night. It was all bleeped out during the Golden Globes, so I didn't get to because she said fuck and some other shit,
asshole and some shit.
Yeah, so we really didn't get to hear the speech. Apparently, she had said that it feels powerful to be a 50-year-old woman who's just unapologetic about sex and all this other shit.
Oh,
and it was like, hey man, you were the proponent, like you were one of the biggest voices for the Me Too movement. Now, like, it's okay if a woman is, because we watched the show.
Yeah.
Is luring this fucking prisoner in to fuck her for shit. Like,
right.
It seems weird to me that's your, it reminded me of when Ashley Judd got up during the Women's March and gave that speech about women. But she was like, where's my nasty pussy babies. Yeah, where you're just like,
stop.
Jesus Christ. Well, they were wearing a pussy hat saying, right. Where's my nasty women? Yeah, you show them your nasty bodies and your pregnancies and your periods. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, that is not very ladylike. Just don't be a hypocrite about it. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
But I can't take you seriously if that's what you're going to do. So when this John Legend thing popped up last night, and now he's taken, enormous amounts of heat for it.
What I love is that people are starting to hate them. I love it because it's one of those things where I just sit back and go, told you.
Yeah.
Told you when they were your darlings.
I know.
You were hiring them for everything and they were just the best. They're so awesome. And now you're starting to see.
Yeah.
And I'm loving that people are starting to hate them. I think it'll go even more than it is now.
I think the fame thing goes one of two ways, where you want to be liked by everybody, so you start saying the things that will make you seem like a better person or more liked in public. I think that was the thing with them, where it was just like, hey, it seems like everybody loves us. Like Chrissy Teigen, like everybody loves us.
Yeah.
Let's just do all of the things that we think everybody loves, and then that'll just keep growing and growing and growing. To me, it's the opposite with them. It seems fake.
You're not authentic.
Yes.
If you aren't just, popping a tweet every once in a while to, whatever it is. But overexposure, really, I mean, it depends on who you are and what your ultimate goal is or whatever. But these people that just love the fame so much.
Yeah.
That shows, I think. And you just crush it. Like, of Mice and Men. You know what I mean?
Like Lenny?
Yeah, you just you get this cute little puppy and you just love it so much.
It's a mouse, but yeah.
Which you did to a puppy too.
Okay.
But you just love it so much that you crush it. And so you kill it.
Yeah.
So I think stepping back a little bit and, kind of like with this show, we just, low and slow.
Yeah.
Stay working, right?
Yeah.
Just stay working and moving forward.
Just keep gaining listeners. We're over 1.5 now, 1.5 million. But yeah, it's with those people, it's just be who you are and that's it.
Or be DiCaprio. Come out, do great fucking work, and
disappear. And let people, because I do think he did this little environmental documentary on Netflix, and he was talking quite a bit more than you hear him normally. Right. And you go, oh, okay. All right. I could see that if he did this a lot, it would get annoying. You would just be very Al Gore. It'd be very Bradley Cooper. You know what I mean? Where it's very, I don't know, but it was something where I go, smart. Somebody told you to shut the fuck up and you did it, and just staying under the radar. Daniel Day-Lewis, I think people kind of, look at that kind of thing. Sam Rockwell used to be that way. We're just like, you don't see him out
anywhere, and he would just do these things and kind of live normal life. And then, Walt Goggins, like all of this, where it's like, try your best to be normal, go to work, right? That's how I would want to do it. These things where it's like, John Legend, Christy Teigen, all of this, I just think that ruins it.
Yeah.
Crushes it.
For example, if we blew up and became like, Stern and Robin.
I wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. No, that'd be fine.
But they asked us to host an environmental fundraiser. If we did that, like the audience would turn in a second and be like, what the fuck are you? There's no fucking way you guys do that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Russ, you don't care.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Or we would have to really pick and choose things that would be our strength. So if they were like, hey, do this corporate event or do this thing, host with Carson Daly, I would have to be like, I don't know if I could handle it.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day where you used to have to strategically plan things?
Oh, yeah.
To think about your career in the long run? You would like not take certain shitty movies or reality shows or whatever, where it's like, don't do this gig.
Right.
Don't do
it really hurts your career. Yeah.
Don't do Last Comic Standing. Do you know what I mean? Like, do things that are on your roadmap. People don't do that shit anymore.
No.
They just do everything, throw it all against the wall, and hopefully they'll retain 500,000 followers.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't think people are strategically planning their careers anymore. It's
No.
just whatever fucking comes up, I'm going to do it, whether it's to my strength or not.
Yeah.
So I would not do anything, probably.
Nothing. For me, there was only one thing I was really passionate about, like on the come up, which was Clayton and I, Crawford, my beef fry. We always did a bunch of veteran charities, anything we could for that. And that was like our only.
He still, continues.
Well, both of us.
Yeah.
And that's
how funny.
I think because a lot of people ask, they're like, I don't understand why you're best friends with, 3 military guys and all this other shit. And I was like, well, I've been working on veteran charities for years, and I was like, kind of my favorite people because it's just. We're the same. We like drinking, shooting, same shit. Like it's
working
easy.
hard, getting off.
Yeah. Like our work ethic is all the same and all that stuff. And I was like, I never really related with other actors and all that shit. I just couldn't get behind that pussy mentality of life. But, so that was a natural transition, but like, I've been doing that stuff for years. So it didn't really, that was my jam, but I also never jammed it in anybody's faces either, where I was just like, hey, you need to do more for this or this or this. Like, never. You'll never see a post of me saying that.
Right.
Just because it's like, hey, man, you can, like a DiCaprio, you can do this stuff on your own. And the people who you're helping know. You don't need to stuff it in everybody else's faces and make them do shit. Yeah. For you, I think you would, like, maybe the one thing you would do is, if they opened up an Anthony Bourdain school of just how to be an asshole to people for foods. I think you'd be great at that.
Do that. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was
you're just
weird.
Slapping food out of people's hands.
Yeah. He didn't do that.
You would never have a Malbec with Waffle House.
I still cry about 2 nights ago. Cried about Bourdain.
You bought a shirt. A shirt showed up in the mail.
I know. I got a tee of that famous picture of him just looking off to the side, whatever. Everyone has it. Cried about it. I saw some picture of him like looking. He's like sitting on a desert, some vast, probably Egypt or some shit, and he's just looking out.
Yeah.
And he just started crying. Is that crazy?
Yes.
His death has affected me more than any family member, anything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that working or something? Was I upstairs working?
Yeah.
And
well,
you're downstairs.
I'm doing
crying.
like sleep training, so we don't really see each other.
Yeah.
Anymore. For a little while, right? You know how it goes.
Yeah, for the newborn, that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's just easier for me to just deal with it for the week or whatever it takes. But yeah, I'm just crying. And I just was like, I don't want to get too serious, but I think it was the first time.
This is so ridiculous.
Why?
What was the first time? What? Tell
It's
me.
not ridiculous,
Sure,
but I don't
tell
know
me.
if I want to get too serious
Go
right
ahead,
now.
tell me.
So it was the first time that I realized, I think I'm ashamed to say that before Anthony Bourdain killed himself, anytime someone would talk about depression or having depression to the point of wanting to kill themselves, again, I'm ashamed to say that I would just be like, get your shit together. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
In a way where I'm like, it can't be that bad. Like, you get help, you know what I mean? Take meds, get outside,
Yeah.
go for a run.
Sure.
Naively, I would be like, kind of be like, there's something they could have done. And when Bourdain, who to me was like larger than life, for some reason, he was the coolest. He just got life the way that I thought it should be, enjoyed and whatever. And when that, with no, in a hotel room in the middle of the night with your friend down the hall,
Right.
with a daughter at home, with a girlfriend, that darkness could grab you and you just could not let go.
So you've never had any bouts of depression in your life? Serious depression at all?
Not depression. No, I've never been suicidal ever. And we've talked about this before. It's something that is so beyond me. I don't understand ever wanting to kill yourself. I just don't. And I always thought, again, I hate to say, but I always thought that people that did or that had that kind of depression, like there was something they weren't doing. There was something they could have been doing more, that it isn't some black, dark monster that comes and grabs you. And with the Bourdain thing, I guess I just realized that it's something that you can't, that eventually will get you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had depression at certain points in my life, and I completely understand it. So like when people kill themselves.
Killing yourself?
Not killing myself, but to the point of like, I think we've all had thoughts, to be honest with you.
I have not. And I don't
You
think
have not.
I don't think everyone has had.
I don't think that's true.
What?
If something happened to one of our children,
Yeah.
you said, hey, I would.
I would kill myself.
Yes.
But I haven't had that yet.
Right.
And, that didn't happen to him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
if someone's child dies and they kill themselves, I would be like, get it.
Yeah,
I got it.
But to put it in perspective, you have the one thing that would cause you to commit suicide.
Okay.
Right? That means, and that's your reason. That's your personal reason. That's your thing. Everybody out there has their own personal thing, I think. That's their individual thing, be it a child dying or a parent or a traumatic experience at war or whatever it is, that you want to come back and you want to end your life.
Yeah.
So I think once you...
I'm saying I understand
this
that
is
now.
why I understand depression, and I have always understood depression, is I think everyone has that one thing in their life, a job, divorce or something that would push them over the edge where it would be too much for them to live and end their life. Yes. And so I've always understood it. I'm surprised that it took Anthony Bourdain like that was the one.
Just because I don't have that
in you.
When you don't have that kind of deep, deep depression or PTSD or, whatever, like I haven't had really horrible things happen in my life, I guess. So there is a lot, and there's a lot of people like the way that I was that just think like depression isn't real. Come on, buck up.
Yeah.
You see people doing like Instagram personalities or whatever that are just like, come on, just like get your shit together, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's that easy.
Yeah. It
and
is
not
definitely
addressing,
not that easy.
It's definitely not that easy for some people. For me, yeah, if I was like sad about something, feeling fat, whatever, and someone told me, get my shit together, get outside, run, it always makes you feel better, that would work for me because I don't have that big dark demon following me that can grab me in the middle of the night like Anthony Bourdain. Like, just felt like he was just running from it forever and with no rhyme or reason or whatever. It just got him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I picture just it grabbing him out of the window and no one was there to like grab him back. Right?
Yeah.
Again, his friends down the hall, like for me, felt that bad or that whatever. I would call my friend and be like, hey, dude, can we grab a drink?
Yeah.
That's just me because I don't have that.
Sure.
I don't have that imbalance. Like it's a real thing. And it takes what it takes for people to understand that kind of deep depression. And, Anthony Bourdain was what made me realize that there's a lot of people that are actually dealing with that and that telling them to buck up and to eat better or whatever.
By the way, it's more than you think.
More than I think. And that telling them to buck up is a naive and stupid way to fucking handle it.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's a lot of people that do that.
And by the way, I've never posted anything like that, nor have you.
No. I'm saying this is just a personal, I don't post shit about shit. But this is a personal thing that I got to.
The only thing that I was depressed about and almost wanted to kill myself was your crime corner on the last episode.
My gosh. And I am sorry.
That was the darkest shit I've ever heard.
And it was really, one of those, you didn't even let me finish.
It stuck with me.
I said the headline. I'm not even going to say it again. You guys have to listen if you want to hear it. And you were just like, no. Nope. You are not going into it.
That, by the way, that one stuck with me for a good 4 or 5 hours. Because again,
show. It was a thinker. Ugh. And I didn't expand on it at all. I just said the one sentence, and then you can all just figure it out from there.
You can go to the last episode and listen to it if you want. It is, God, that one lived with me for like 4 or 5 days.
Sorry.
So you asked me before we came on the show today, you were like, hey, I want to redeem myself. With another crime corner. Crime
corner. So this guy in Louisiana takes just being prepared and being wanting to protect yourself and having guns, in your car and your house and stuff, and just being concealed and all of this. He takes it to another level. So the deputies, let's see. Let me start over. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. So officers were called to this house where this lady, Lori Dupuis.
Oh.
Very Cajun, right?
No R in that, huh?
Mm-mm.
Dupuis. How do you spell Dupuis?
Dupuy?
Okay.
What would you say? What would you say?
Dupuis.
Dupois?
I don't know. Dupuis, that was awesome. Sounds like somebody saying Dupree with a lisp.
Anyways. So they were called for suspicious activity. And this lady, answered. She gave him a false name and then fled. So there was another guy there, Justin Savoy.
Mm-hmm. Big fan of hers.
Justin Savoy, yeah. Yep. He was also home, and so they did a pat down. They found a concealed handgun, marijuana, pipe.
Ooh.
Huge, big stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. They also found a homemade zip gun in his truck.
Ooh.
Okay, and several additional firearms with homemade suppressors inside his vehicle. So obviously they take him to jail. Okay.
Yeah.
During a strip search, they find a gun in his butt. So he had, we're talking house, pocket.
Sure.
Car.
Yep.
But now listen.
But
at what point did here's
how big
my
was the gun? Is there a photo of it?
Now look. During the strip, okay. They found a small gun concealed in his butt.
Okay.
The caliber and make of the gun has not been released.
That's the key.
That is going to be the key. But
when
here's
we get the caliber and the make of it,
then you're really going to be able to know the level of commitment to protection that this guy had. Why? So my thing is, so the cops came there for this lady. She flees. Then they question the guy. At what point did he put this
in his butt
gun in the butt?
Right. Or how long has it been in there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did they take their eyes off of him while they were questioning the lady? Did he just shigunk?
Yeah.
And why? If the guns are gonna be in the car, in the house, in the pocket,
yeah,
why would you just need that last one in the butt?
In your butt.
Replica? The dad gave it to him. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Is it something you wanted to keep?
World War II? I don't know.
World War II?
I don't know what it is. My thing is this. I have a very small
canal
concealed carry gun that I'm just trying to think of how that would stuff into my asshole. It's a weird angle.
It's a weird angle because then
and
it's also...
because it's wide then. Like that's a wide... Yeah, you got to go... It's like an
because
L.
If it's
obviously
just,
you got to go up and in.
So if it's just the barrel, cool.
Yeah.
If it's just the handle, cool. If you're going barrel and handle to the point where they don't find it till they... Now... I'm going to let you guys know the strip search doesn't happen till after the whole booking process.
Yeah, so you've got to ride in the car, sit on the bench, do the whole fucking
sit
thing.
on the bench, go through all the paperwork.
Yeah.
He has his mugshot. During his mugshot,
yep,
his gun is in there.
Yeah.
Fingerprints, all of that. And then you finally get your dress, your clothes.
Yeah.
And you're also in the holding cell for a while.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then you get your clothes, you get in the area where you're going to change, and that's where the strip search happens. So all of that for what? They already found all the other guns. For what?
Maybe there was someone he wanted to shoot on the inside. You ever think about that?
That's a long way to go, friend.
Yeah, it is.
It's a long way. They were called for a lady.
It's a bold
suspicious
move.
activity.
And I support him.
Yeah.
You redeemed yourself, James. I like that one. One. Let's get to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we? This one's going to be two. We're going twosies here today. We're taping the show on Tuesday. It's January 8th. This was David Bowie and Elvis Presley's birthday today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked one of those.
Which one? Did you hate Elvis?
He's like, it's Michael Jackson to me. It's just like everyone is so, the way that people go crazy over him.
Over Elvis.
For what?
Yeah. He was the first. He was the first guy
Love me down.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not going to say first rock star or first, rock and roll artist. Because a lot of people say that. It's probably Chuck Berry, let's be real.
Right.
But he was the first person that exploded with like massive fucking fame, where he was the first pop star to me. So
he was cute. I'll give him that.
But combine it with him and Michael Jackson. When you're pounding out hits and doing something that's never been done dancing wise, because I thought about this dancing wise. Michael Jackson did shit you never seen before. Elvis Presley did shit you never seen before.
Shaking the legs around and
stuff?
Stuff?
Nobody ever did that on stage where it was just like, oh my God, that's sexually provocative at the time. Okay. You have to look at it over time.
I know. I'm just not impressed.
Exactly. You're nuts, but the rest of the world is. So that's why people revere these artists.
Bowie, I fucking love.
Yeah, but Bowie's one of my all-time faves. So... Yeah, if I had to choose one to bring back to life, it would be Bowie. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
But Elvis was great, and shit, he changed the world, so to speak. Fuck, he was doing movies, all that shit. Like, none of that would have been possible, if he didn't do it. So, all those guys,
totally.
Sinatra moved into films after that. A lot of musicians moved into films after Elvis did it. So big deal for those two. It's a fun show, James.
Yeah.
What are you snacking on right there? What is that?
Almonds.
Oh yeah.
It's the only snack.
Yeah. During the diet holiday. Try that beef jerky from Grill Your Ass Off. I'm a big fan of that. It's a nice little afternoon snack.
There you go.
Off to San Antone, kids. I will be live down there for the next 3 or 4 days. And I'll see you next week. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I am Ross Patterson. Good night, everyone.
Good night.